Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Overlord Season 4, Episode 4. In the last episode, Ainz, knowingly or not, made Jirkniv something something Elnix, the Emperor, shit his pants. Metaphorically and probably also literally, because Ainz just had a whim to appear in the Colosseum and to fight the Grand Warrior Champion King Lord of whatever of the Empire. Meanwhile, Jirkniv was talking to some people from the slain theocracy and wanted to create some sort of an alliance, but of course the people of the theocracy took it as Jirkniv just setting them up. That wasn't his plan. I have my doubts whether or not it was Ainz's plan, but it is exactly what happened. So, hey, it seems like Jirkniv's ideal of a huge alliance of all the nations against Ainz is that one step further away from completion. The theocracy itself has begun making some plans against Ainz, nothing quite concrete yet, but they are looking into different ways of perhaps dealing with him somehow. They want to enlist the help of Godkin, I think they're referred to. The people we've seen at the beginning of season 2 or 3, I can never remember which one was it. The one girl who had a Rubik's Cube and was super excited at the prospect of being impregnated by someone stronger than her, and the dude who seems to be her companion. What's gonna become of it? I don't know. They're probably gonna end up dead. Or maybe they're gonna join Nazarick. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Many different things can happen. After all, if Princess Renner was offered the possibility of joining Nazarick, then who's to say that other powerful beings in this world won't be offered the same chance, right? It's entirely possible. But I don't think any of the plans that Theocracy has will be quite successful, because many of those plans are based on the idea that, hey, maybe we can bring Momon against Ainz. But yeah, that's not gonna happen. Hey, if all three of them, if Ainz, Sonyupnyoko, and Momon were working together, that would be the worst case scenario. Let's hope it's not the case. Well, little do they know. So it's gonna be interesting how the slain theocracy and how Jirkniv's empire are trying to deal with the threat of Ainz, although I still do believe that this threat is mostly just imaginary. It's not like Ainz just wants to destroy everything, burn all the cities, salt the ground, and slay all of the people. No, he doesn't have those kinds of aspirations. Sure, there's the goal of world conquest, but it doesn't have to be through genocide. If you become subservient, if you pledge your allegiance to Nazarick, you're gonna be perfectly fine. I mean, what's his face? The wizard of the Empire, Jirkniv's father figure, grandfather figure, that old dude, pledged his allegiance to Nazarick, and he's probably still fine. So many other people, Renner pledged her allegiance to Nazarick, and she's more than fine. Anybody, Hilma, I don't know just how fine she is, but she has her own place. She has a nice living. So ultimately, it's a fate better than death, I guess. Not the parts of her life where she was tortured endlessly, but the place she's at now. So, yeah, if only the emperor just said, "Hey, yo, we're gonna be your, what should I call it? What call it? Fuck, I forgot. Yeah, we're gonna be subservient to you, essentially, right? We're gonna be a part of your empire." Then they would be, and that would be that. Nothing else needs to be said. Nothing else needs to be done. Simple as, really. But they have this grand idea of getting rid of Ainz and defeating him, and that's probably not gonna happen, let's be honest here. Okay, I guess now we can start watching it. I'm just gonna have to adjust my camera ever so slightly, because for some reason it moved, and I don't want it moved that way. Yeah, good enough. Good enough for me. Okay, here's your subs. Here's my sound. Here is me asking for your support ever so slightly higher. I really don't have a good control over this camera setup. Yeah, ask for your support on Patreon or on Throne or by just sharing my content. It costs nothing and it helps channel a very, very lot. So, okay, now I'm not gonna prolong it any further. Episode 4 of Overlord Season 4 version by subs, please, as usual, is gonna be starting in 3, 2, 1, go. And we're starting right where we left off. The Warrior King. Just some berry tea. Okay, so we're gonna learn how did Ainz come to be in the Colosseum. Sure. Why are we having those weird little flashbacks? Okay. Okay, proactively advertised. So I was correct in my prediction that Ainz literally had no intention of foiling Jirkniv's plans, and that he genuinely just wanted to be courteous towards him and greet him, and it wasn't a means of intimidation. Perfect. I mean, isn't that just the essence of the series? Ainz is bumbling around doing whatever he pleases and completely fucking around, and in the end it turns into a Sasuga Ainz-sama moment and he suddenly is the ruler of a brand new kingdom, right? That's the gist of this series, really. Ainz does whatever and still ends up winning. That's essentially it. I'm looking forward to Brain versus Cocytus. Also, the opening song is kind of growing on me. It's not the same style as, I don't know, Veracity. Veracity was amazing, but it's still decent. It lost a little bit of the edge, a little bit of the fang, of the claw, but it's still decent. Yeah, we teleported. Ainz doesn't give a fuck. He's gone, I have no choice. True. I like how we are including this old adventurer. I mean, if you offer them exactly as much as they are losing. No, it's exactly what Ainz desires. Finally, someone who can counter Ainz's plans and opinions and whatnot. Not just a yes man. An adventurer school? That's a great idea, actually. Okay. And still, Ainz could probably send, like, Yuri Alpha and should wipe the floor with it, with him. Probably Fifth could be able to just defeat the Warrior King. I don't know, I think the homunculus mates are like level 1 or something, so probably not. Totally inconspicuous carriage, by the way. Yeah, Ainz isn't just a being of pure evil, as people often portray him. Okay, right now, not even waiting for anything. Just fucking removed him from the carriage. I love it. Fluder, that's his name. What were your orders? Information, of course. Necronomicon? Can you even read it, or is it all in Japanese? That's gonna be your task. Learn it. Oh, a translating glass. Just the most magical sounding. I wonder what are gonna be the results of it. And it's just a random book. Yes, of course. You can prove to be worthy of those teachings if you decipher the sacred texts in an otherworldly language of Japanese. uh, I love it. Rabbit Girl! Had some cool weapons. Probably all like white or green loot. Nothing magical, I don't think. Or maybe some like blue weapons. Thorn. Yeah, Thorn. Elder Futhark, to be more precise. Okay, dwarves. I guess we're gonna be visiting dwarves soon. Yeah, I mean, who else would be a superior to him? Okay, he's just taking it in stride. I like this tiny eye dude. Why not? Not like anything's gonna happen to him in the first place. And what does your information say? Right. That's what it says. Sure. 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 Of course. uh, he has 50 other spells of this class. Yeah. Sounds fun. Yeah. He's strong. I like fighting strong people. I wanna fight him. Simple as. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Simple enough. He's been already fighting as Momon. Headhunter Rabbit. Oh. What are those hands? Ah, okay. He's into big buff ladies, I'm assuming. I like this bunny girl. Yeah, he's either gonna die or he's gonna become a servant of Nazarick. Only two possible outcomes. Of course, Jirkniv would be cheering for the troll. Ah, right, the troll tradition of short names, long names being weak. Yeah. Yeah, I guess some trolls can be more intelligent than others. Okay, okay. Hey, we get an intelligent war troll at our disposal. You like bones? Yeah, makes sense. A handshake? Yeah, gotta be courteous. Probably. Jirkaniv just screaming his lungs out in the background. No magic. Remember Ainz? Yeah. Scared? Ah, not exactly magic, just a racial trait. I guess racial traits aren't prohibited. Those are Clementines daggers, aren't they? Yeah, not gonna be that easy. Clem had some stuff in her sleeve. A couple of aces. Yeah. Okay, so he can use each magic weapon only once. I guess that's the limitation. And willingly expose his head. Hmm. Okay, it seems the troll has a little bit more up his sleeve than he let on at first. Yeah, still not quite enough. Yeah, physical attacks just do nothing. Yeah. And there goes his armor. Or I guess he just took it off. I thought Ainz just destroyed it, but apparently not. No, you're plenty strong. Simply, Ainz is stronger. Yes. Freeze time touch of death done, like he did to Gazef. Yeah, someone better at PvP than him. Yeah, it's not even physical resistance, it's physical nullification. You have no chance. Just like that. And time for advertisement. That's a great advertisement. And he's gonna revive the troll. Exactly. Even if you die, I can always snap you back to life. Just like that, not a single adventurer was left in the Empire. Yeah, Sasuga Gon dono. Sure. Pledges allegiance. Yeah, vassal state. As I've been saying from the very beginning. Become a vassal state. That's the one and only way your country can survive. As a vassal state. What is a vassal state? uh, uh, yeah. Ainz literally just wanted to advertise his side gig. That's literally all he wanted to do. And he got the Empire's vassal state out of it. Uh, uh, yeah. Yeah, that's his best chance at survival, let's be honest here. No, you are the most fortunate because you are now gonna be a full blown ally of Nazarick. That's like the safest place to be. Being an ally of Nazarick or a servant of Nazarick or a vassal state of Nazarick is literally the safest you can be. Because if some other country were to attack Empire after they become a vassal state, it would be like an attack on Nazarick. And the attacking country will just be fucking vaporized at that snap of the fingers. Not even Ainz's fingers. I bet like Demiurge could fucking just eradicate an entire country on his own. I have absolutely no doubt about it. Let's be honest. I love it. I loved this episode, every single minute of it. So how about we witness those minutes again? Shall we? Shall we? There we go. This was amazing. This was truly an amazing episode. Yeah, Ainz's plans were literally advertisement. Just that. Advertisement. I wanna advertise my adventure guild. Just that. And only that. Also, this, I wasn't sure who that is and why is she fighting the Death Knight. Could be that it's an adventurer school of some sort. She's an adventurer and she's training against the Death Knight. That would be my bet. And that would also be my hope, because I really like her design. I have a weakness for girls in armor and with white hair. I don't know. It's just such a cool archetype of a Valkyrie kinda character. I really dig it. So I hope she's not gonna die. I hope she's gonna join us. Yeah, how do we get to the capital? Oh, it's a secret passage, and I am friends with Jerkniff. No, Ainz simply doesn't have a clue how to react. And if he was like officially, yeah, ceremoniously welcomed, he'd have absolutely no clue how to conduct himself. So he just gated into the country, gated into the capital. uh, you think that the adventurers can give up all they have gained here? Yeah, and I like that Ainz finally has someone who's able to point out flaws in Ainz's thinking. I like it, and I like that Ainz also likes it. He's tired of just having yes men around him. He genuinely wants some criticism, he genuinely wants people to point out flaws in his thinking, and it's good that he's getting human allies, people who aren't just programmed to be yes men, essentially, because that's what every single guardian at Nazarick, every single creature at Nazarick is. They see Ainz as this god being, as their creator and whatnot, and how could we ever go against word of ainz-sama? Ainz needs human allies. Ainz needs this dude. Ainz needs the Troll King. Ainz needs Jirkniv. Ainz needs all those people to point out flaws in his plans and talk to him and discuss things instead of saying, yes, Ainz-sama, Sasuga Ainz-sama, yes, Ainz-sama, it shall be as you command, Ainz-sama. Right? I like it. I really, really, really do. Is that support for newly budding adventurers as well? It would be a good idea to create an institution to help nurture adventurers. Indeed, an adventurer school. Why not advertise by fighting in a coliseum? This is literally it. That's literally all that Ainz wanted to do. Just go into the arena, have a fight, and say, hey, Adventure Guild memberships 50% off for the first month. Right? That's raid Shadow Legends. That's literally all he wanted to do. And he got a whole ass fucking vassal stay out of it. I love it. I love how much Ainz can be just a bumbling idiot. Okay, not a bumbling idiot maybe, but how he can be just completely bumbling around, fucking around, doing whatever, and it's just seen as a master plan. I love it. I adore it. And I have to wonder why exactly it works. Right? That's very interesting. Because I have a feeling that if it was any other series and the main character would just be bumbling around and everything would go along their, you know, along their, everything would go along their plans, right? I don't think I would like it this much. If there was another isekai where the MC just, I don't know, pulls out the sword and accidentally slashes an invisible assassin's throat or something, and that's the entire basis of the show, I wouldn't like it very much. And here, in case of Overlord, it really, really works. I wonder why. I'm gonna have to sit on that a little and think about it. Why it works in Overlord and wouldn't necessarily work everywhere else. Why does Ainz being an absolute Gary Stew works? Although, I guess it's because Ainz isn't exactly a Gary Stew. He's not the best at everything. He has his flaws, and he can make bad decisions, except they are always nullified by his subordinates, or by just pure chance. Huh. I think a big part of why Overlord works is that a large chunk of the story, and a large chunk of the story told, isn't about Ainz. It's from the perspective of someone completely different. Like, sure, there are stories that briefly move the perspective to someone else, to, I don't know, the evil organization as they're plotting against the main character or whatever, but it's rarely done to the degree it's done in Overlord, I think. In here, there were seasons. Yeah, in seasons past, mostly in like season 2 and season 3, we spend more time without Ainz than we spend with him. The whole Lizardman arc, it was a whole like 3 episodes of just Lizardman, without Nazarick even getting particularly involved. Then there was Man in Kingdom arc that had us follow Sebas, and had us follow Princess Renner, and had us follow Climb. Right? We weren't following Ainz, but there were glimpses and pieces of Ainz's influence. And I think that's why it works. Because Ainz is kind of portrayed as a force of nature, as a fact of this world. As, like, you could very easily use the exact same stories, the exact same world, the exact same everything. You could create a spin-off about Climb. You could create a spin-off about Gazev, about Brain, about someone who we haven't seen yet. Like a random adventurer, a random worker, whoever. And it would be a great story with an otherworldly threat looming in the background of Ainz Ooal Gown. Right? And as we follow the adventurer, as he's going through adventures, for the lack of a better word, we hear those glimpses of, oh, the city of Irantel was conquered. Oh, Brain Anglaus, not Brain Anglaus, Gazev Stronov is dead. 10,000 people were dead. Oh, I heard it was 20,000. I heard it was an entire country. Right? Those skewed and twisted gossip, and it builds that sense of foreboding that there's something greater, something bigger. And will our adventurer have to eventually face against that great threat, that demon king that arose completely out of nowhere? Right? It would work. Overlord would work even if Ainz wasn't anywhere near the spotlight, is what I'm trying to say. I think that's the main driver of the story to me. Yeah. I like it when we're focusing on Ainz because I really like him as a character. Uh, but the story, in a large part, works because we often do not focus on him and do not follow him. I think that's it. I think that's it. I think I cracked the code. I will send you back to Yggdrasil with teleportation magic for today. Just like that, didn't even like arrive at an inn or something. Just snapped him straight out of the carriage because why not? Fluder, of course, the subservient student of the King of the Dead. Book of the Dead. A book that describes the process and path from the soul of a dead leaving the body to entering the afterlife paradise Aru. What to say when you meet Osiris, the judge of the dead. Unnefer about the Unnefer? Unnefer about the afterlife and the judgments he receives in the soul that falls into the underworld. Book of the Dead. Interesting that we mention Osiris. That's Egyptian mythology. And let me quickly Google what the fuck is Aru. It sounds vaguely Sumerian to me. Sumerian god of the dead? Aru. Aru is a movie, a Hindi movie in Tamil. Aru is a location in Assassin's Creed. Aru is a short for Association of Arab Universities. Okay, Aru deity. 130 Aru food ideas in 2022. Aru. Okay, it's also Egyptian mythology. Field of Reeds, heavenly paradise where Osiris rules. And how about Unnefer? Okay, that also sounds Egyptian. Unnefer, Egyptian god, see Osiris. When an Nefer was a high priest of Osiris, Osiris Unnefer. Okay, so I'm guessing Unnefer is another name of Osiris. Okay. Interesting. Interesting that it's Egyptian mythology. Yggdrasil seems based on Norse mythology because, I mean, Yggdrasil, it's Norse. And here the book of the Dead is... Wait, isn't a Book of the Dead like an actual book about Egyptian death mythos? Yes, it's an ancient Egyptian funerary text written from used from the beginning of the New Kingdom around 1550 BCE. Runu Peret Emheru. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, gotcha. So that explains the references to Egyptian mythology in Osiris, Aru, Unnefer. because it is literally an Egyptian text. Interesting. I wonder if it's like an actual book from the world of Yggdrasil that has some purpose, like a skill book that gives you +1 point to spend on your necromancy tree or something like that. Is it a spell book? Probably not. Or were you able to import ebooks into Yggdrasil and Ainz just imported some batch of 1500 ebooks he found on Pirate Bay, and one of them happened to be the Book of the Dead, and he figured, hey, it has a book in the name, it has dead in the name. He likes the dead. He aspires to be like a necromancer. How about this book? And it just doesn't matter because it's just an Egyptian text. It doesn't describe the mechanics of the world. It doesn't describe the mechanics of necromancy. It's just a random Egyptian book. Or is it actually gonna give Fluder a little bit more understanding, a little bit more power? Is it actually the way death works in the world? In this world, we don't have a name for this world. It's not the world of Yggdrasil. Does death in this world actually work on Egyptian terms? Because if so, then Ainz might have just fucked up massively. I wonder if something's actually gonna come out of it. Of the fact that Fluder has access to the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Huh. Also, I love Fluder's expressions. How absolutely shocked he is right now. This face. You're giving me a book? Harry Potter gives Dobby a sock? Fluder is free! His absolute joy, right? Like a kid getting a new game or getting a new toy. Oh, I want to unpack it. I want to open it. And his absolute misery, the absolute misery on his face as he realizes he can't read it. He got a brand new singing and dancing Aquaman toy and it came without batteries. I love it. I love Fluder's expressions. I love his reverence of taking the spyglass with. Not spyglass, it's like a monocle with two of his hands. So reverent. It's just the most magical sounding book I had, and the absolute joy and realization, his bulging eye. I love it. I love everything about Fluder's expressions. His joy that we can see on his face right now. I love it. It's truly the knowledge I've always been searching for. And yeah, give that eyeglass to me. This expression of, no, it's mine. I need it. Don't take my toys, mommy. I know the remote ran out of batteries, but those batteries are inside of my Aquaman toy. I love it. I love it. And of course, Ainz bullshits his way around. You'll only be able to ascend if you decipher those ancient runes and the mystical language of Japanese. I love it. I love it. Absolutely adore it. I love the relationship of a master and student that Ainz has with Fluder. And Ainz is, well, let's be honest, shit for a teacher. He has absolutely no clue what he's doing, but even just a random book that he gives to Fluder, Fluder just looks at it as his brand new fucking Bible. I love it. Is it the first time we see Beastmen, not counting Lizardmen? I cannot recall seeing Beastmen around. Unless the ape dude from the group of adventurers that were guarding Jirkniv was a Beastman then I don't think we've seen any Beastmen. For a moment I was about to say Thule, but Thule is from Gate, not from Overlord, so no, that Thule doesn't count, obviously. She must have come from the east. Ah, so the Japanese of this world succeeded at creating cat girls. Glad to hear that. We don't see her hands, and for a good reason. Some cool weapons. It's all probably just white and green rarity, though. With this one that says Thorns. I wonder if it's gonna be relevant. If this blade is gonna become relevant. Not Thorns. Thorn. Thurisas Othala Raito Nautis. Yeah, Thurisas Othala Raito Nautis. Thorn. There's a lot of attention put on it, and the fact that there are runes, I'm assuming runes are an Yggdrasil mechanic, kind of like you can enchant your armor and weapons by applying runes on them, and maybe different rune combinations provide different effects or something like that, some crafting system. Interesting. And it was created by dwarves in the Azarlesia mountain range. I'm assuming if there was a player who came to this world with the knowledge of runes, he just holed up at the Dwarven Kingdom. And I'm assuming, actually, I'm gonna note it down. Dwarves have some myth or something about a player bestowing the power of runes upon them. Dwarves have a myth about a player bestowing runes upon them. There we go. Okay. Osk has his ways of figuring things out. This is a cool shot, how with every skip we're getting closer and closer and closer, as the fact that he killed tens of thousands of people with one spell just hangs around in the room, just dawns on everybody present. I love it. And oh yeah, but I'm not that strong. It's not like I'm gonna kill the warrior king. Please let me fight him. I'm not gonna kill him. I can use this spell only once per decade. It really needs a lot of power. I'm not gonna do that. I love it. I love it. Would that not be considered a weakness? Oh, I have other spells. That's right. Ha ha ha. You mortal. You thought I only have one, and that I gave you my secret, but no, I have more spells like that. You stupid mortal, you. He was strong, and I got curious. Only weapons, no magic. I guess racial traits and racial abilities don't count as magic, which is kind of unfair, not gonna lie. I wonder how that fight would have gone if Ainz wasn't using his racial traits and racial abilities. Probably not much different, because, I mean, Ainz is level 100. He's a spellcaster, sure, but through the sheer leveling, his HP is super high, and all of his other physical traits still did go up. Headhunter Rabbit. What are those hands, though? Are they diseased? They look diseased. Like, initially I thought it might be scars from combat, like the archetype of a warrior bunny, warrior rabbit. But I see, like, not pimples, like boils. And I think those aren't scars, it's just lost patches of fur. Is it like a chemical burns? Burns? A disease? Hard to tell. Those are huge ass hands though. And I hate detailed tiny eyes. I preferred him when his eyes were just a black dot with a little bit of light on them. I hate this. I hate his eyes in a positive way. In a positive way, but I hate them. My ideal is the warrior of the blue rose, Lady Gagaran. He says as he blushes. Also, one more thing I really like about Overlord, how we keep cross-referencing things, right? This arc isn't entirely self-contained. He mentions Gagaran, because Gagaran is a character, and we know Gagaran, and we know who Gagaran is. And it's a little bit of a tie-in. The way during the Man in Kingdom arc, Ainz pulled out the book and took what's her face? The girl that Sebas rescued, took her under his protection because he was sisters with not a Nefiria. Nefiria is still alive. Sisters with the cleric girl who was cross-dressing as a boy, who was a member of the Black Sword group that he traveled with us, Momon, in season 1. I love those callbacks to previous seasons, previous episodes. It really ties in the entire story together, right? We are here in an arc that takes place in the Empire, but it's not isolated. Things that happened have happened. People that exist outside of this arc exist. The world exists. The world works. People live their lives. I love this feeling that Overlord gives me. That although the story might be isolated to this one location, and the arc might be isolated to this one storyline, the world still exists around them. Things are happening. I love it. You're a little too thin compared to her. I really like this bunny girl or bunny boy. Judging by the voice, can I find the VA? Out of curiosity, does this bunny person have the voice actor listed? I wonder. Isaac, Hilma, Fan Long. Onkei, Poapon, Pandras actor, Gogin. Okay, I don't see the bunny having a VA listed on Mal. How about Annulist, though? Maybe Annulist lists it. Annulist Overlord 4. Characters. Momonga, Cutus. No, Annulist has even less even fewer voice actors listed. That's a bummer. Okay. I don't know. I really like the design of this bunny character. I'm still not sure if it's a bunny girl or a bunny boy, but either is fine with me. Honestly, I don't mind either way. I really like this character. King of the Sorcerer Kingdom, His Majesty Ainz Ooal Gown. Kept all their promises. Warrior King knows he's going to die, apparently. I love Jerkniv. I love how he's screaming his lungs out. Go, Warrior King, go, Warrior King, kill, kill, Warrior King. And then the match ends and he's like, oh, ainz-sama, I knew you were going to win. War Troll Gogin, known as the Warrior King. Again, throwback to season... the season where Nyfiria and Enri were defending the village from trolls and ogres that Ainz sent at them. Yeah, that season. I really don't know which one was it. Either 2 or 3. I have trouble placing 2 or 3 which one of them was first, so yeah, either of them. I've taken a liking to you. If I defeat you, you're gonna become a servant of Nazarick. I like it. I like that we are no longer just mindlessly killing everybody. Although, I guess Ainz wasn't mindlessly killing people. He killed the workers that came to plunder Nazarick because he probably would have let them live, but they pretended to be sent here by one of his friends, and he got hopeful, and then they dashed those hopes, and he got really fucking pissed, so I understand. Gazev essentially died at his own wish. Yeah, I don't think Ainz was just killing people willy-nilly. But I like the fact... Yeah, he took Enri, he took Nyfiria as his servants, he took the Lizardmen as his servants. Yeah, I guess he's more of a collector than a killer, so it makes sense that he also wants to collect the Warrior King. Wary of fire. But yeah, I can emit negative energy when I come in physical contact with an enemy. A racial trait, I'm assuming. Also interesting how Ainz decided to discard magic weapons after each use. And interesting how he has 3 of those daggers that Clementina had. And it seems like all of them have... No, one of them has explosion. Another one has something else. And the last one had some siphon ability on it. Clementina had only 2. One of them had explosion, the other had electrocution. I guess the third one was made by Ainz specifically. He was trying to replicate this kind of a weapon, but with a different spell embedded in it. I'm assuming that's what he did. The same way he created the Zarius's weapon, the Ice Sword, but like Mark II. I'm assuming that's what's going on here. Those daggers are of his creation, but based on Clementina's weapons. Weakens your strength and agility. Yeah. Not using magic, only using each magic weapon once. Greater height reinforcement doesn't matter because the dagger has explosion in it. I love this impact frame. This couple of impact frames, really. Blast. Completely inverted colors. Inverted again. Cross of an explosion. Back to regular colors. Inverted. Completely, like, posterized. Again, colors and motion lines, and then the explosion proper. Jesus, that's a lot of impact frames. And it looks great. It really does look great. I thought there'd be more people cheering for me. Nobody wants to cheer against Emperor. Simple as that, really. Always hard to please the crowd in away games. Yeah. Will admit defeat? Of course not. Strong strike, divine skill, single flash, flow acceleration. That's a lot of combat abilities. We've seen people use like 2 or 3 at once. This dude is just ability after ability after ability after ability, just chaining them endlessly. He's strong. He truly is a warrior king here. There's one insurmountable difference between us. Yeah, Ainz is level 100. Simple as that. You can punch him, you can beat him, you can stab him, you can slice him however many times you want. Your level maybe in the upper 40s. Your weapon is maybe around level 20, unless it was made by a mythical blacksmith of god of blacksmiths that had 100-year-old tenure under a dwarven master or something. You're just not gonna scratch Ainz. Simple. Am I really that weak? No. You're the strongest in the Empire, sure, but I'm strongest in the world. It's really that simple. You are strong. You are very strong. I'm simply strongest. This is fun. I like it. I like this troll. Show me even a fraction of your true strength. And here comes that fraction. Physical nullification, not even resistance, just straight up nullification. Stab, activate. Now, what is this spell? I was expecting electrocution because Clementina had explosion and electrocution, but this is something else. It takes out something out of his body, seeps life force. Is it a vampiric dagger? Is it soul-stealing dagger? I don't know, but it's interesting. And here comes the ad. Today's fight was sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. I am planning to make an institution for nurturing adventurers. The institution is sponsored by HelloFresh. I believe in nurturing and supporting adventurers to go out and explore the world, of course. I do not plan to use adventurers for war. I do not lack strength. And I plan to use adventurers for adventuring, the very thing they were named after. Not just killing goblins and collecting herbs, but fucking adventuring. I'm with Ainz. I'm fully with Ainz here. Unimaginable power will be waiting to help you. That's a big drive. That's a big drive. It used to be that adventurers have a backing of the guild, maybe the ruler of the country, or the ruler of the city, if they're lucky, and if they happen to be the one who hired them. Now they're gonna have the backing of the fucking Sorcerer King. Like, Ainz could give away daggers that he crafted when he was trying to level up blacksmithing, and they're just taking space in his inventory. He never got rid of them because they cost nothing, so why sell them? And they take no space, so why throw them out? So he kept them, and now he's gonna be giving them away, and each and every dagger that he was training blacksmithing on is gonna be like a god-killing weapon in this world. Another thing, if you die and you are a good adventurer, you're just gonna be snapped back to life. I cannot find anything more enticing than that, honestly. You can go adventuring, scouring unknown lands, and you know that the Sorcerer King has your back. He gave you an effigy that you just break it and you wake up in the guild, so if you're in danger you can just go back. I'm assuming Ainz can create something like that. If you happen to die, then you just get maybe returned back to Nazarick or to Adventurers Guild, and Ainz just twirls his wand and brings you back to life. I can really find nothing more enticing than being able to go out, adventure, face against different foes, take all sorts of risks, without the risk of dying, without the danger. That has to be extremely enticing to all those adventurers. I can even go against the absoluteness of death. Just like that. Pipiru, and he's back to life. What do those runes say? Vod. No, it's not a W, it's It is Vunio. Is it Vunio? I can never remember this one letter. Vunio. Yeah, it is Vunio. It is W. So the text on his dagger, or on his wand, reads Vod. Wod. I have no clue what it means. I can Google it, but Wod mythology. World Mythology 101, a guide to myths from around the world. No, I don't want world mythology. I want Wod. Mm. There is Ödr, or however you pronounce it, that came up. Sometimes anglicized as Odr. What does it have to do with Vod, though? Wod. Mm. May have been invented as a separate figure from Odin after Christianization. The notion is implausible because a separate independent figure by the name of Wod survives in the folklore involving the Wild Hunt. Okay, Wod is basically Odin by a different name. Odin, Wodan, Wotan, Wod makes sense. Odin hung himself on a tree of knowledge upside down, stabbed himself with a spear, and gouged out his eye, if I'm not mistaken, and essentially committed an elaborate suicide for the gift of runes, of language, and then he came back to life through the power of language, through the power of runes, if I have my Norse mythology correct. So I guess Vod as Odin, as revival, I guess makes sense to be on a resurrection scepter in a roundabout kind of way. I like it. I like that there even is something on this staff, and it's not just random letters. Because very often you see someone use futhark on their art or in manga or in anime, and it's just complete gibberish. This time around, no, it says Vod. The sword said Thorn. There is the sword Dyna's Life in Symphony GX that I'm watching right now, and it has the word Dyna's Life on the edge, but the rest is complete gibberish. So that's kind of good, kind of bad. Not as bad as it could have been, not as good as it could have been. I always appreciated when runes, especially when they're using like actual runes, actually have some meaning, actually make some sense. Like, you can write the script of B movie for all I care in runic, but at least make it make sense. I am one who surpassed death. Come to my kingdom and become true adventurers. This ad was sponsored by what's the company that makes the shavers for your balls? Manscaped. This ad was sponsored by Manscaped. Manscaped razors are so good they can even shave this troll. Uh, as expected of Master Gone, I believed in you all this time. I love Jerkneef. Yeah, see, I literally did what I set out to do. I wanted to advertise, I advertised. I literally have nothing more to do here. I just, peace out. And suddenly, I wish the whole Baharut Empire wishes to become a vassal state. What? Why? Huh? I literally just wanted to advertise my new guild, and you're giving me Empire as a vassal state? Oh yeah, it should be discussed in writing. Just submit a form. Send me an email, okay? Just send me. I'm gonna peace out now. Send me an email. I'm gonna deal with that. Peace. Gato. I love this whole mini arc in the Colosseum. Uh, and Jurkniv is still like, yeah. Why do you think he rejected my offer to become a vassal state? Because he doesn't even know what the fuck a vassal state is. And here's Jurkniv building even more, like, winding himself up. Why did he reject it? Does he want to destroy my empire? Am I gonna be alive? Is the empire gonna be destroyed? Must have been something that went against his original plans. Maybe he was planning to enslave us all, and to conduct experiments, and to turn us into a city of the dead. What were his plans? What was he planning to do? His plans are beyond human comprehension. Ah, I love this whole arc. I love it. I I absolutely adore it. Yeah, as I said, I absolutely adore this whole mini arc in the Colosseum. Ainz just wanted to advertise his guild. Again, that was all he wanted to do. Defeat a strong opponent, to prove he's strong, and then pull out his magical megaphone and say, "Hey yo, new guild is open! Who wants to join? I can revive you if you want. Revive. This power can be yours, and we also offer memberships and free dental." That's literally all he wanted to do, and he thwarted Jurkniv's plans to join up with the slain theocracy. He gained Baharut Empire as a vassal state. He made Jurkniv even more mad. I dread to think what's the merchant gonna do about the troll joining Nazarick. I love it. I love it. It's very rarely that an episode of something has me feel this good, right? Has me feel this jolly good. I fucking love Overlord. What can I say? I fucking love this episode. I love the attention to detail. I love all the characters. I love their interactions. I love how the world works and still exists. I love the callbacks. I love everything. I love the fact that the troll warrior king wasn't CG. They could have done it CG in previous seasons. They probably fucking would have, but they didn't. They're clearly improving. I love Overlord. I love this episode. What more can I say? Except to ask you guys if you loved it as much as I did. What did you think of this episode, of my reaction, of my theories? Let me know down in the comments below. No spoilers, please, I beg of you. You can see how much fun I'm having. You can see how much fun you are having with me having fun. Don't spoil it to anybody. Don't spoil the show. If you want to talk spoilers, Discord, here, link also in the description. Join the Discord, join the Overlord channel, use spoiler tags, talk spoilers freely, because I'm not gonna read them. Simple. Like this video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, but tell me why so I can improve. Subscribe to the channel to be notified of future releases of not only Overlord Season 4, but also Hataraku Mao-sama Season 2, also Yofukashi no Uta Call of the Night, another amazing show that I highly recommend, also Symphogear GX that I mentioned before, and one more mystery show that I don't know what's it gonna be yet, because the poll still hasn't closed and my patrons can still vote in it. What else? Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon. Link in the description. For $10 a month, you get early access to non-seasonal shows like whatever is gonna replace Review Starlight, the mystery show, like Symphogear GX, like whatever other non-seasonals I'm gonna be watching. You can gain early access for $10 a month. For $5, you get to vote in seasonal polls, and for just $1 a month, you get a role on the Discord server, and you also get a place in the credits that will be showing up shortly. And if you wonder what the $100 tier is, on that list of patrons, that allows you to skip the poll and just order me to watch a show. Simple as that. There's also thrown down below also as well. You can pitch into some gear for me, upgrades, new lights, new camera, new stuff, directly towards that purchase. And if you don't want to spend money, you can not spend it and just share my content, spread the word, share my channel with your friends, family, or complete strangers on the internet, because the word of mouth really does matter a lot for the growth of a channel. Discord, already said that. It's open to everybody. Feel free to join it. You don't need to be a patron. You don't need a role. You can just join it openly. Yeah. I said what I needed to say. I showed what I needed to shill. This video wasn't sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends or Manscaped or HelloFresh or Raycon or anybody else. I'm not getting sponsorships. Please sponsor me. No, my channel isn't quite that big. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers. And here's the credits I mentioned, and you can join people on this list if you so desire.